Right now, it's been 10 years since the devastating flooding in Wimberley, an hour and a half away from San Antonio.
Chicago Windler is in Wimberley with more on people rebuilding over the past decade.
We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the historic Memorial Day weekend floods here in Wimberley. The Blanco River, where I'm standing, rose over 40 feet, a historic crest, in just a matter of hours. We could hear the cypress trees cracking and falling. What started as a fun holiday weekend went terribly wrong. So we actually had a big group together congregating to watch the river rise, and then our phones just started going off, getting notifications that this wasn't a normal rise. All of the sudden, just sheer panic. Natalie Meeks owns a wedding venue called the Waters Point. Back then, it was the Rio Bonito Resort. The river was coming up so far and so unexpected. This property's been in the family for a century. The river had never even been to the doorsteps of the cabins. The cabins were now submerged 10 feet deep. No one knew that 10 to 13 inches of rain had fallen upriver in Blanco and Kendall County. We had about 75 people to 100 staying in our cabins, and we were able to evacuate them to safety. The wall of water destroyed the Fisher Store Bridge upstream, and the dangerous debris-filled waters showed no mercy. There was no upstream river gauge to warn of what was coming. The cabins, we lost, I want to say 15 structures. While everyone was safe at Rio Bonito, 11 others perished in the floods, including 8 people whose vacation home washed into the river and later crashed into the Ranch Road 12 bridge.
There's almost no words to describe the destruction.
Michelle Woods is the director of tourism for the city of Wimberley and owns a local coffee shop on the square.
Still a little bit of anxiety with big rainstorms around town is not uncommon, but yeah, a lot of lessons learned. And you look around and see a lot of homes that were rebuilt up on stilts or further back from the water.
And the bridge that was destroyed is one of several with flood gauges to provide early warning.
There's new alert technology, and then when they rebuilt the Fisher Store Bridge, they rebuilt that in a way in which it won't flood again.
And there's more good news. We are just now breaking ground on our last cabin to remodel after the flood. So it's taken us a decade, and we're finally at the finish line. The city is planning a memorial concert and fundraiser on Saturday, May 24th.
To honor the people that lost their lives, and then also to honor the heroes, the everyday heroes and the heroes in uniform that all stepped in.
And there is going to be some more information right here for you about tomorrow's big concert. The Wimberley Strong Memorial Concert is taking place at Blue Hole Regional Park from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Jesse Stratton Band and Gary Nunn will be performing there. Admission is $50. The money raised will benefit local first responders.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan.
It's horrible to see things like that happen, and especially, what we saw the weather last weekend across parts of the country. But we do need some severe weather events in our area.
Well, so we are the flash flooding capital, in the country, and those are the floods that'll bring your lakes up and fill them up.
Sure.
But you see that it comes with a lot of the give and take.
There you go.
That's what happens with these epic floods. But we've had them for decades in Texas. That's how we do it here.
Yeah.
And so. We almost had some flash flooding last night up in the hill country. Big storms came out of Gillespie County, crossed Kendall, then parked itself right into Kerr County with real high rainfall rates, dropping about 3 to 5 inches of rain. And of course, we also saw some of that rain come down into Bexar County, but no flooding with it. So let me show you the numbers here. One more time on this. It was really nice to see a little overnight thunder. Didn't get a lot of severe weather, although there's some noisy storms. But you can see it was a range of about around 1/4 of an inch to over an inch of rainfall. New Braunfels, that was the highest total I found in the city limits. It was a general 1 to about 2.5 inch rain for you. And in Seguin, that was on the west side of Seguin. And across our 4 zones, you can see some of the numbers here. Bernie, there's Kerrville. Now that number is on the south end of Kerrville, closer towards Center Point. And I want to update you on the Guadalupe River. We were just looking at that story from Wimberley. There is a surge of water. These levels here from Comfort into Bergheim have been dropping. So it's just west of Spring Branch. So it hasn't made it there yet. So later tonight, tomorrow morning, if you are crossing the bridge there at Spring Branch, you're probably going to see the river is really up. And that's going to be heading then into a canyon lake here. So that's the name of the game, the hydrology of our river watersheds here. Also note, if you're tubing, you can see tonight the flow there on the Guadalupe below the dam is at 110. And the Comal is at 52. So River Con Level 2, which is recreational for the Guadalupe, still want to add a little time to your float if you're heading down the river. And for the Comal, it's at 1. And so you really want to add some time for that trip down the Comal River.